So here we go, it's time for the pit stop race now, 50 minutes with a pit stop, driver changes for many of them, others just have to be patient as they sit there. Richard Chamberlain and John Sill on the front row again, with Graham Tilley and Bob Berridge on row 2, Graham DeZille, Seamus Jennings on the third row, James Webb, Paul Hogarth, Nigel Mustall, Lucky Christopher, Richard Guy and Gary Redman on the 6th row, row 7, Nick Moss and Frank Mortensen, Steve Ruston and Chris Murphy on the 8th row, Rob Young, Brendan Arib, Brent Millage and Steve Burt on the 10th row. Row 11 sees Simon Orange start the car and David Franklin alongside him. Row 12, Ivan Milutinovic and James Simons, Mal Samford and Nick Scott Dickinson on the 13th row. So we get the cars making their way round behind the safety car as the safety car peels into the pits and leaves the battle to commence, and Richard Chamberlain to try and make sure he commands the start of this race again, as he did in the sprint race from that pole position. He's going to have the inside line as they head towards Copse, lining up 2 by 2 nice and cleanly for now anyway, at least, as we come down towards the lights, and out go the lights and off goes Richard Chamberlain, and he does manage to get an absolute flyer in that bright orange Porsche again, with the equally bright green Lamborghini Huracan of John Seal just behind him, and the Ferrari's crowding Nigel Mustall then in his Nissan GTR. As you can see, there's a whole horde of them just behind him as well. Look at that. Graham Tilley is certainly getting more and more comfortable in that Nissan GTR, the tech serve car, and Graham DeZille in that Ferrari 488 equally getting comfortable in that new car. Only the second meeting for those guys. Looks like Seamus Jennings has dropped down to 4th at the moment, and the teammates in the Ferrari sat side by side there. Seamus Jennings looks like he's dropping backwards in that GTO group number 33 Porsche. I hope that's not another big issue for them after the trials and tribulations they had at Snetterton, and a great opening race in the sprint race. Out front it is these two, yet again a common sight that we see going at it, absolutely fantastic sight, and it's Richard Chamberlain that has the nod at the moment. Graham Tilley sat there in 3rd place with Graham DeZille closing in on him. Nigel Mustall just ran a little bit wide there, so through goes the 27 Ferrari of Lucky Christopher. That is a GTC passing the GTO, but we see it all the time. They don't care. They get involved with each other. And here we go down towards, surely not, John Seal going to do it into Village again. That is definitely his favourite place. 2 races in a row. He's dived up the inside of Richard Chamberlain, heading into Village. Now into the loop. It's where Richard Chamberlain tries to come back at him. He's trying to do it again, but he can't quite get the power down sufficiently to get alongside. This is sort of a GTB filling in the sandwich between the two GTH McLarens there. Championship leaders, number 44 there, started by Steve Ruston this time, sat a bit further back. Nick Moss doing a great job in his first weekend here in GT Cup. Oh, and Frank Mortensen was looking up the inside there of Nick Moss, but thought better of it. Some work to be done there by James Webb. He's surprisingly far down, isn't he? But he'll get through. And look at these two going at it again. Oh, and that was just pushed a little bit wide there by John Seal. But Richard Chamberlain couldn't quite do anything about it. He's got a good line onto the start-finish straight, down towards Copse. Looking one way, looking the next, towards the inside again. He did that last time. Not this race. He's not going to do it, though. He sits there, tucks up behind John Seal again in that Lamborghini Huracan. Graham Tilley licking his lips going, come on guys, let me mop up the pieces here somewhat, as he gets more and more comfortable with that beast of a car. And still the battle rages, and it's James Webb now trying to make up a place, get past Frank Mortensen onto the start finish. And he just had to jink towards the right there, wasn't sure if he'd been seen, as he's recovering those places. Through he goes, past Nick Moss as well in that white number 25 McLaren 570S. And oh, look at this, the leaders are side by side. Richard Chamberlain's going to have the outside line as he gets down towards Stowe. It can't make that count there, and he has to throw the anchors out the back a little bit more than John Seal by the looks of it as they went round Stowe, and so he tucks himself back into second. James Simons at the wheel of the Lotus Evora. He's piloting it on his own this weekend, as is Ivan there in the number 66 car, and Milutinovic is kind of taken quite well to this one, to be fair, in that GTA car, leading the way in GTA again. And look at this GTO battle at the front, absolutely raging still. Richard Chamberlain trying to find a way, whether it's on the brakes, whether it's on the power as he exits. Strengths and weaknesses in different places, probably between both the cars and the drivers, to be fair. But here they come down towards us, and it's in towards Brooklands, and the left-hander now. Richard Chamberlain's going to have the inside bit of grass there as he goes in towards the tight right-hander, or tightening right-hander of Luffield in reality, and he's done it. What a fantastic move. He just kicked up the grass a little bit there, but he knew what he was going to do, round the outside of Brooklands to have the inside line. Oh no, and there's Frank Mortenson's made contacts in the number 3, the Marcus Mantis. Thankfully that doesn't look particularly bad damage, but it's bad enough that he can't get moving. Out comes the safety car. The field is bunched back up again. At the moment we've not got quite the leaders of the overall race as they make their way past the stricken Top Cats Racing Marcus Mantis. But here we go, we're going to get the race back underway again. Richard Chamberlain's got to do it all over again as they come towards the green flag, and off he goes. Graham Tilley's got a cracking restart. Look at that, he's glued to the back of John Seal as the back markers are kind of moving out of the way. One of the Aston Martins, that's Mal Sanford, doing a good job in number 10 there to stay out of the way of the faster cars coming through. The whole clutch, is that what we call a plural of Ferraris? We'll go with that for now, but he let them pass nicely there, and through the very fast Maggots and Beckett's they go, and Graham Tilley sticking with the lead too, even though he's been enjoying having a grandstand seat of the fight. He's basically making sure he's with him. That was Paul Hogarth, I think, that sat there challenging a little bit further back. Oh, and we've got a pair of McLarens there, and that's at the moment that's going to be the number 17 car, Rob Young, that's behind the wheel of that one at the moment. He'll hand over to Matt Le Breton later. Still, James Webb trying to make up those positions again. His next target is Nigel Mustel. Into the pits now. We've got the pit stops taking place. Richard Chamberlain, of course, is going to be doing the whole race on his own, but in he peels, and John Seal's come with him. Now, this is interesting because John Seal will be handing over to Jamie Stanley today. It's Marcus Clutton behind the wheel tomorrow, and that's going to change the dynamic. That number 12 car, that's going to be interesting. Steve Burt handing over to the pro, Adam Hatfield. Oh, and there's nearly a little bit of contact as Richard Chamberlain was released, as Ross Wiley now at the wheel of that black and white Ferrari, the number 83 car. So that's one heck of a pro at the wheel of that one now as well. In comes number 19 as well, so that is going to be Dan DeZio, I believe, at the wheel of that one. Graham Tilley comes in, he's going to be doing it. This is John Whitehouse going to take over from Steve Ruston. They arrive here as the championship leaders. They want to make sure they're going to get the utmost side by side, or maybe an optical illusion, but it certainly looked like they were side by side for the GTO heavyweights again. And it's Richard Chamberlain that's got the nod this time round, and through the very fast section, and then going to break a little bit more as you get towards the sort of the tightening chapel onto Hanger Straight. And in comes Rob Young handing over to Matt Le Breton. The 79 car is now Callum Jenkins going to be at the wheel of that one. Oh, and John Seal's got a good run now. It's going to be on the outside though. This is at the loop, and this is Jamie Stanley, and he's done it. So his teammate John Seal loved the corner before that one, which was Village, but Jamie Stanley, he did it, sort of did the old switcheroo in reality, didn't he, as he got towards the loop there. And here, this is a group battle actually. This is Adam Hatfield now at the wheel of the number 12 Aston Martin, the Whitebridge Motorsport, up behind the Balfe Motorsport run McLaren of Nick Moss. There's number 27 Adam Carroll at the wheel of that car now, taking it over from Lucky Cristoforu, trying to get the GTC honours. That was power slide in the Ferrari as he manages to power his way past number 66 Ivan Militonovic, and he did a great job. And here comes Adam Hatfield trying to down towards Stowe. He's going to be on the outside there of Nick Moss. Surely not. Is he going to try the old switcheroo? That's brilliant by Nick Moss. He's just parked that on the apex, so there was no switcheroo on for Adam Hatfield. Down they come. Oh, and again, they're still going through the Vale in towards Club they come. Nick Moss doing a cracking job to try and hold on to. Judging from, I think I saw Chris Murphy up ahead, this is second and third in GTH as it stands at the moment. That Whitebridge Motorsport, Aston Martin, looks beautiful in those colours. Up they go past the wing. Yeah, there's Chris Murphy. And in fact, actually, ahead of them at the moment looks like Brendan Aribe. I don't know whether he's pitted yet or not, the number 24 Balfe Motorsport McLaren. As these pit stops are sort of working themselves out and trying to keep abreast of everything as it happens. And Adam Hatfield's not. He's just got his pedal to the metal, and he's trying to find a way. Round the loop he goes, and he gets on the power as he exits towards Aintree and onto the Wellington Straight. Is he going to be able to make a move? None of them. In fact, the McLaren got a better run through there. This is for GTC honours. This at the moment is Ross Wiley in number 83, the black and white Ferrari 488, just holding up. Was there a little bit of contact there? Adam Carroll was able to come out of that corner a bit quicker. We saw it earlier when he power slided. And we've lost Richard Chamberlain, so it is Jamie Stanley all on his own out the front by a country mile now onto his final tour of this GP circuit. He goes, and we've got a spin there. Nick Moss has spun it as they come out of club, and in fact, is that Chris? It is. That's Chris Murphy, last year's champion. He was leading GTH at that time, and I don't know whether they've spun in sympathy. Oh, they're not giving each other much space there, are they? And they're still together as the GTC leaders are now having to split side by side, trying to find a way. The backmarker can't just disappear. Nick tries his best to, but he can't. And through has gone Adam Carroll into the lead of GTC. I know that the whole crew are watching this, teammates as they are, in the garage, trying to cheer their respective driver on, but Adam Carroll is going to certainly leave his teammate Lucky Christopher the happiest there, as we see Matt LeBreton trying to keep the number 21 car behind him of Josh Jackson at the wheel of that one now. He'll have taken over as it stands at the moment, but here we go. Jamie Stanley now at the wheel of that one, trying to just basically, by the looks of it, win this race in the slowest possible time. He's making sure that the clock ticks down as he comes towards the checkered flag, doesn't have to do an extra tour. There he goes, takes the checkered flag. A fantastic victory there for John Searle and Jamie Stanley again in GTO. Nigel Musto and Craig Dolby came home in second place. A great fight through for them. Lucky Christopher and Adam Carroll, number 27, take the GTC honours ahead of Richard Guy and Ross Wiley in 83. In GTH goes to the 10th car, number 12, Steve Burt and Adam Hatfield. Great fight through the field there. In 15th place is your GTB winner, which is the number 17 car of Matt LeBreton and Rob Young in their first time out in GT Cup. And GTA goes the way of Ivan Milutinovic in his first weekend as well in his Porsche Cayman, number 66. A fantastic race from everybody, and those that didn't finish, they've got overnight to get everything sorted again before we do it all again tomorrow with a sprint and another pit stop race. Well, the drivers are on the podium. Let's catch up with how their races went from their perspective.
It was something else. It was something else. It was very, very good. It went well, kept with him, overtook him, he got past, but I just held with him all the way to the pit stop. That was good.
Richard came out just ahead of us. We had a couple of laps of dicing, but we'd love to see some more of the GTO cars come along more often. Obviously, there's a lot of them here this weekend. Obviously, we're going to carry more of a penalty today, and some of the new entries won't get that tomorrow. Obviously, that'll be down to John and Marcus tomorrow while I'm at the wedding.
I had a good start this time and thoroughly enjoyed the race. It was all going very well. No problems really. All great. Safety car came out. I lost a bit of lead that I made up. But I knew Adam was going to get in the car, so I sort of slowed down a bit and let him do some work.
Yeah, on that note, he loves leaving you a bit of work, doesn't he?
I wouldn't say that. Well, not while he's standing here anyway. But yeah, absolutely, it was a good race. These races are, someone always turns up and the success penalty, so you have to go out and drive absolutely flat out, which is the whole point anyway. But it was good. Really enjoyed that. These cars are challenging around here, and the circuit's great to get around this track again.
Great time. Yeah.
And of course, with this man, I mean, we watched it on the one lap you made up those two places to suddenly jump into the lead. I mean, what a cracking lap.
Yeah, it was mega. Car was really good throughout the whole race. The team had performed really well. Steve drove really well. Yeah, it's very much a fairy tale return to the championship, really.
We had a great day, thank you. First time in the championship, and we came home with a second in class and a first in class, and great race, thank you. Good day, and really enjoyed it.
Yeah, it was all right. I had fun. Yeah, some people got in the way, but I passed them eventually.
Yeah, it was lovely. I mean, we didn't expect to win at all. We just kind of wanted to have a little bit of laugh on Sunday, and there it is with the trophy as well. So perfect.